What's up, guys? The Snowman here. More tennis content today. Normally I stick with informational videos or conventional tournament previews, but today I want to dive in more on the budding ATP rivalry of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. They're two of the game's brightest young stars who may very well dominate the next 15 years side by side. They just played in Miami and it was utterly breathtaking tennis. I couldn't believe what I was watching at times, so right now I want to go through some reasons why Sinner versus Alcaraz will be the best tennis rivalry of the next 15 years.
Let's start with the fiery Carlos Alcaraz, born in 2003, still a teenager as of April 2023, 6 feet tall from Spain, already a year-end #1 ranking under his belt, and a major champion thanks to his epic breakthrough at the 2022 US Open, winning 3 5-setters in a row. After that, he became the youngest world #1 in the history of the ATP rankings. Then you have the icy cool Jannik Sinner, 2 years older than Alcaraz, born in 2001, 6'2" from Italy. Hasn't quite broken through in the same way that Carlos has, but to be in the top 10 at age 21, to have made 2 Masters 1000 finals, and the way that Sinner has challenged Nadal and Djokovic at the Grand Slams, he's definitely a rising force, and this is their head-to-head thus far. They've already met 6 times, and we're all knotted at 3 wins apiece. Alcaraz winning the first meeting at the Paris Masters in 21, Sinner with some revenge at Wimbledon on grass, and Umag on clay. And the last 3 matches have been beyond special. They had that battle in New York, 5 sets, 5 hours and 15 minutes, second longest US Open match of all time, the latest finish in the tournament's history at 2:50 a.m. local time. Carlos saving match points in that contest, probably the best match of 2022, maybe other than the Aussie Open final. They've also met twice in the last month, semis at Indian Wells, Alcaraz winning a tight 2-setter on a slower hard court, and semis in Miami, Sinner winning a 3-set match of the highest quality. Tennis euphoria back and forth, both players refusing to yield and give up positioning on the baseline, made for some great rallies. I was watching that match and just decided I had to make a video for these two because it's not something you see every day. In my opinion, the best tennis rivalry of the last decade has been Nadal and Djokovic. Before that, Federer and Nadal. You had Agassi versus Sampras preceding that, Borg and McEnroe. However far back you want to go, tennis is defined by rivalries. Each era typically is one that stands out, and I truly feel that Alcaraz versus Sinner is the next legendary rivalry because of the age similarities and the quality of play. I mean, you look at Alcaraz and he quite literally has 0 flaws in his game. Even as a 19-year-old, serve is phenomenal, return is intimidating, he's got a thunderous forehand and a cracking backhand, variety is breathtaking, the drop shot world class, defense is explosive, speed is incendiary, he can track down every single ball. You've got to win the point several times against Carlos, excellent feel, and the intangibles are off the charts. He's a humble kid with an elite motor and work ethic, will probably only get better. And then with Sinner, he's improving every day as well, similar MPH on the serve, top-notch return, he can knock the stuffing out of the ball with his ground strokes, supreme speed off both wings, maybe not as great in terms of variety, certainly not as good a drop shot, but Jannik's so amazing at defense, not just because of the speed, but the flexibility and pliability, great wingspan, can hit an open stance, sliding backhand that's Djokovic-esque, incredible at getting in and out of the corners, and like Carlos, he's got a tremendous head on his shoulders, humility, passion, determination, and he's surrounded himself with an A-plus team. And I mentioned that match in Miami between these two phenoms. There wasn't a single person in the tennis community who didn't take notice. Miami tournament director and former world #4 James Blake said it was the best point that he's ever seen. Other players chiming in as well. There's just something about Alcaraz and Sinner that's captivated the world. The athleticism and shot making is off the charts. The ground stroke speeds are something we've never seen before. All of a sudden, it's common for forehand speeds to be in the 80s, 90s, or triple digits in terms of miles per hour. If there's anything for them to work on, it might be Sinner's ability to approach and finish at the net. For Alcaraz, I'd say maybe absorbing power and redirecting is a skill he could still work on, but for them to be essentially finished products with a combined age younger than Roger Federer is pretty astounding. And it's not only about the tennis with this rivalry. Jannik and Carlos genuinely like each other. They're both playful, great personalities, awesome sportsmanship with a humorous side despite the insatiable appetite for competition. Both guys so classy, so much mutual respect. It's eerily similar to the rivalry of Federer and Nadal. From an X's and O's standpoint, point, Alcaraz might be a little flashier. I think he's got more shots, more tools in his arsenal. He can conjure up lightning in a bottle at a moment's notice. So much fire and passion. But Sinner counters that power with the one thing that Carlos doesn't like. Jannik takes time away. He hits the ball on the rise, stays near the baseline, doesn't give Alcaraz a ton of time to react. He's icy cool, and that's why I believe Sinner will be the one with a positive head-to-head record when this rivalry is all said and done. Look, tennis has always been about matchups, a system of rock, paper, scissors, if you will. I always think about Federer, Djokovic, and Wawrinka from the last decade. Wawrinka beats Djokovic because of his offensive artillery and the ability to blast him off the court. Djokovic beats Federer because of his ability to defend and clamp down on key points, and Federer beats Wawrinka because of his shot speed and ability to take time away. Same kind of thing with Alcaraz, Sinner, and maybe Daniil Medvedev. Alcaraz beats Medvedev because of the overall offensive firepower. Medi beats Sinner because of the defense, but Sinner beats Alcaraz because of the speed and the way he can steal time away. It's not a perfect comparison, and obviously all these guys can beat each other on the right day. I just love exploring the matchups in tennis. Sinner may have an edge though because of this aspect, despite Alcaraz being a more complete player overall. Regardless, I'm just hoping we get plenty more meetings between the two. Djokovic and Nadal are at 59 meetings. They're 30-29, probably the best rivalry of all time just based off the stats. If we can get to 50 career meetings from Carlos and Jannik, I'll be happy as a clam. They're destined to meet on the biggest stages for the next 15 years, both so adept on all three surfaces. I see Alcaraz winning double-digit Grand Slams at least, Sinner with maybe a handful himself. Just want them to stay healthy, and if they do, Sinner v. Alcaraz may very well be the best tennis rivalry of the next 15 years.
Thanks a lot for watching my Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry or matchup analysis video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find watching these two young stars as entertaining as I do. Please leave a comment. Let me know who you think is going to have a more successful career. If you enjoyed it, though, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more tennis content. Cheers!